In Algebra 1, Section 2.2, we're dealing with absolute values. And in this case, we're dealing with distance. And with distance, just like weight, there's no negative. Okay, you can't weigh negative 2 pounds. And if I, walk 5 miles up, okay, and 10 miles back, it doesn't mean that I've traveled negative 5 miles. Okay, what it does mean is that I've traveled a total of 15, because even if I travel backwards, that doesn't subtract from the actual distance that I've traveled. Okay, so the absolute value is just taking the distance that you are from 0. So if I'm negative 2, I'm still a 2-point distance from 0. So it always keeps things positive. So A is positive, so if a number, and the absolute value are these lines. This is right here the term of the absolute value. This shows me that there is an absolute value, and my number A, if it's positive on the inside, then that means my distance is positive. Okay, it's A. If A is 0, then my distance is 0. And here's the trick. If A is negative and it's in this absolute value, it's telling me that even though it's negative A, let's say negative 5, it's still 5 points away from 0. So that means I have the same number without the negative. Hence, it's always positive. Okay, so from here, my example is 3. So it's telling me that right here, it's 1, 2, 3 away from 0. Okay, negative 3 is right here, 1, 2, 3, but it's still 1, 2, 3 away from 0. So no matter which way I go, the absolute value of both is still 3. Now, here's the thing. If I have a variable in here and it tells me equals 3, well, I can have a 3 in here and it gives me 3, or I can have a negative 3 in here and equals 3. So if I end up with the absolute value of x equals 3, then that means I have two answers. I can either have a 3 inside, or I can have a negative 3 inside, because the absolute value will still give me a positive. And we'll be able to use that in a little bit. So go ahead and pause this, write it down, and we're going to do some example problems to see if you kind of understand the concept. Okay? Alright, so we have evaluate negative 1.6. Well, since this is an absolute value, okay, it's telling me that this is the distance. Negative 1.6 is still 1.6 units. So my answer would just be positive 1.6. Simple enough? The next one is that there's a negative on the outside and my 29 is on the inside. Well, this absolute value turns out to be a positive 29. I'm going to bring down my x, but this becomes a 29. So my answer is negative 29, because the negative is on the outside. Okay? So this one I'm going to solve. So this is telling me my x is on the inside, so that means in here I can have either x equals 15, or, okay, I can have x equals negative 15. Alright? Now here's the thing. This absolute value will always give me a positive number on the outside. So if I have, for example, a negative 6.2, it cannot equal a negative 6.2, because no matter if I put a 6.2 in here, it'll give me a positive 6.2. If I have a negative 6.2 in here, it'll give me still a positive 6.2. So this negative 6.2 will never happen, so this has no solution. Alright? Go ahead and try it. Page 74, numbers 9, 11, and 12. Page 74, numbers 9, 11, and 12. And I'll see you in class.